Well, hello, Flosstube. Welcome to my introverted life. I'm Wendy, and you're probably wondering what you're looking at. This is a drawer. It's on the floor. Got another one. You move on up. Oh, that's my closet. You've seen inside the closet. That's where my floss is at. I thought I'd show you my fabric. It's not that entertaining. Don't have a lot of fancy dyed fabric. Wish I did, but I don't. So I thought I'd show you what I do with what little I do have. This is actually coming out right now. This you would have seen yesterday, though I didn't show you specifically this pink bag. But this is Miss Christmas Eve. She was spun again today. So I'm working on her again today. But this side here is where I keep all my fabric. That's my temperature chart. A lot of fabric I pick up with just a bunch of lots of craft stuff, and I sell the craft stuff I don't want, which is how I afford, well, rent for starters, but it's also how I pay for my crafting. So these 3 tubes came with stuff, and I really like this red. I'm really thinking of doing white on red, something fun and cool. It's just a 14 count from Michael's. What, 15 by 18? Yes, 15 by 18. Other than that, there's one project. I keep a couple projects. Over on this side, there's a couple of grime guards. These 2 are heart hangers, which I've discovered I don't much care for. So I actually should put these online and sell them. Make a couple bucks. And then there's a huge chunk of black, which, you know, worthwhile, but it's a little yucky, needs cleaned, so I'm being lazy. And then there's a couple other random pieces of just cheapy Aida fabric. And I just keep those back there. And then in this guy right here is what hand dyed I do have. And I should preface this by saying all the hand dyed I do have, I dyed myself. I did have some on Etsy at some point, which is what this is, Fat Girl Dyeing. My Etsy shop's Fat Girl Sewing, so I have a couple left from that, and then just a couple pieces I did. And then this is a bit that I did and was originally going to use it for, because it was darker and kind of the murky-ish look. It was going to be for Halloween Quaker, but I think it's not quite big enough or something like that. And then this is the piece you saw me dye not too long ago. And then on the very top are some linens and even weaves. And from there, this is hand dyed. This is Picture This Plus. I think so. 36 count mellow. Yeah, Picture This Plus. I should probably put that in. Well, I think I'll just keep that as my hand dyed stuff. I picked this up on 123 Stitch for like really super cheap, like a couple bucks or something like that. It's cut wonky, so you don't have quite as much size, but I figured it'd just be a nice stash. After that is all Aida all the way down. It goes 14, I don't think I have any 16, 14, 18, and then I just pulled the one stuff, and from there I then have this specialty fabric, which is even weave. And I just mostly use it because it separates, because it goes back to Ada. But the ones on the very bottom are much larger pieces. So if I come across a large project I want to do, they're at the very bottom. And I just recently kind of organized this because they were just kind of everywhere. And I just kind of pulled everything out and looked through it and decided what I wanted. So, yeah. Anywho, that's my fabric organization. I don't have much. Wish I had more. I have a hoop. But I figured I'd show you that as a start to this video, and I will be back with work on Miss Christmas Eve. See you in a sec. And here we are. I actually put in probably about an hour almost of stitching on this. The stitching was done across the bottom here, and then on up into here, and I finished filling in this little section right here. This is Miss Christmas Eve by Mirabilia. Thought maybe I'd try to show you that so you know what she looks like, since I don't think I have yet. Might be something you want to know. I am stitching right in this realm here, right across here. So, definitely very cool. I don't know what it was about this caught my attention, but it really did. So this was the first pattern I ever purchased of Mirabilia. And yeah, so far so good. I'm obviously liking it. I worked on it yesterday as my 25/7 spin. Put in nearly an hour today. Could probably keep working on it if I wanted to, but I really need to do some Wipgo, and I am getting so close to finishing over here. Try going this way. Okay. To finishing over here. I know I showed this to you. It would have been on last week's, which technically would have been last night, and I didn't have this in. I was just sitting there, and for some odd reason I was like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. So I got that put in, and then I got all the little fiddly little leaves to do, and then back stitching. And once that is done, I will have a quarter of this done, and I'm just so looking forward to it. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to work on next, if I want to work on this, or if I'm going to actually try to pull out one of my Wipgos. We'll see. And here we are. We are 1/4 of the way done with the stitching and the back stitching. This has turned out gorgeously, in my opinion. It was fiddly bit to begin with, and when I was doing it in here, it just suddenly like clicked with me. This was much more fiddly bit in here, but it clicked with me, and I put in the back stitching, and I really love watching the way things come together when back stitching. So actually back stitching, yeah, take it or leave it, I don't really care. I don't mind back stitching, it doesn't bother me. But I love doing it for the sense of seeing things come together, seeing a picture come together with the back stitching, because back stitching is just like awesome. So it definitely added to this. And then the little bit of Krynic back stitching in here. There'll be more over here, of course. But that's that. Stitches are a little too tight in here. You can see it's pulled a little bit at the... I mean, it's the stitch, of course, is sticking out, but you can see that it's pulled at the threads a little bit. But still looks cool. I'm excited. It took me a month and a half-ish to get quarter done. So that'd be 4.5 months to finish, which would be cool. but I'm going to put it away for just a couple of days because I want to focus in on my Wipgo. It is Wednesday, by the way. The 2nd, I want to say, but don't quote me on that. And I'm going to put this away. I don't know if I'm going to work on Christmas sentiment tonight or my Ravenclaw Crest or both. But I will be back in about a second year time and show you what I got done. Okay, it's like 1 in the morning. I've been working on this for 3 hours, so I've put in nearly half of the 8 hours I'm supposed to do for Wipgo already. I'm pretty down with that. That's nice. I only have to put in 5 more. I forgot to film it before I started putting in stitches. I'm sorry. I just forgot. Brain does not always function. I'm getting old. I think if you go back a couple of videos, this was one of my 25/7s. Yeah. And I put in some stitches. What I did today was a lot of this darker color. Some of it was already in a little bit. I filled in way more of it over here into here. I put in one strand of white, which is very funny because it does not look like white. The embroidery floss is white, I swear, but when you put it in next to all the gray, the white just does not look white. And then there's a slightly lighter gray that I filled in all of this with as well. So I got quite a bit done. What was it? This pattern does work in Pattern Keeper, so it is in Pattern Keeper. I think I put in 339 stitches, I believe, if I'm thinking correctly. So not too bad. I mean, that's 110 stitches an hour. I mean, I'll take that. That's almost 2 stitches a minute. And these are full crosses. So seems cool. But, you know, got another 5 hours worth of this. I don't know what I'll do tomorrow, if I'll work on this some more, or if I'll go ahead and pull out the Ravenclaw Crest. I am really enjoying this, and honestly, I'm only stopping right now because it's 1 in the morning. And I'm starting to get more tired and just kind of want to do the rest and relax for an hour or 2 before I go to bed. So I'll be back with you tomorrow. Oh, hopefully either at the beginning of this segment or at the beginning of the next segment, I will actually put in a picture of what this pattern looks like so you actually know. That would make sense. But do I do things that make sense? Not often. Not that often, but I'll see you in a sec. Okay, it is now Thursday. Yes, it takes me a minute to figure out what day it is. I didn't do a 25/7 spin yesterday. I don't have a good reason for it. I just forgot. I am actually probably going to, not today or tomorrow, but starting Saturday, because starting Saturday I want to start pulling out Lady of the Flag again. I'll probably set aside the 25/7 spin for a week or 2, depending upon how long it takes me to get through my Wipgo goals, just because I'll already have 2 projects that I'm focusing on, 2 to 3 projects that I'm focusing on, and once either 1 or 2 of the Wipgo goals is met, I will pull the 25/7 spin back in, or if I'm just getting bored working on what I'm working on and want something different, I'll pull the 25/7 spin back in. But today and tomorrow, there should be 25 7 spin. Today's was Love is a Promise, which I will put in a picture here so you know what it looks like. This is my own design. I'm trying to get a, I guess, because it's just designed on a program at the moment, so I'm trying to get the actual model done. Model, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, this is where I'm starting at on it, and just 25 minutes. Hopefully fill in a little bit more of the emotion. That's the word that's right here. And I'll see you in a sec with my progress. And this is where I ended up. I probably put in about 30-35 minutes. I finished off, because I was over here, so I finished off these letters and just kind of got this started so I knew where it would be at next time I pulled it out. So yeah, nothing much else to say. We'll probably be pulling out Christmas sentiment later on tonight, and I'll either post that update, well, it'll all be on the same thing for you. I'll either film it tonight or tomorrow morning, so see you in a sec. It is now Friday. I worked on this for 2.5 hours yesterday, I think. 2 hours. About. I think, maybe. I was so ADD yesterday, I kept getting up and running around doing things. So I've only got an approximate estimate of what I did. I think I put in 226 stitches, if I recall correctly. But I filled in just a lot of stuff, and I'm getting ready to start in on the white. I have this pattern in Pattern Keeper. Oh yeah. When it's white, it shows up the undone ones, and when you click on it, it shows all the ones that you have completed, and it colors all the ones that you haven't completed. But when you're using a different color, the white shows up as white, and which is the same as the blank spaces, which means that you can't see where you've stitched the white. So Pattern Keeper is very much more geared towards your full coverage, for sure. The other patterns do generally work just fine in it. The white is a little confusing. I've looked to see if there is a way you could make the background color a different color, the, non-stitchy spaces. If there is, I haven't found it yet. If there is and you know, let me know. I'm down with that. Thumbs up, let me know. Because it'd be a lot easier. But, yeah. And the pattern was designed to be put on a different color fabric, which is why there's a lot of white. But I filled in just a ton of stuff over to somewhere around in this area. All the other basic colors filled in, except, whatever's coming in across here. This is kind of a section, sort of, and there's more section coming in down here and stuff. But for this section, it is mostly, filled in to about here. And so I'll do several strands of white till I get over here, and then I'll start filling in again so that I can complete the white last so that I don't get confused. Because when the white is white and the blank is white and you switch over to a different color, it doesn't show the completed white, and you can get confused about where you're at. so white goes in pretty much last. Like I said, it is now Friday, so I've done a 25/7 spin a day. I spun Victorian Charm. That's what it's called, right? Victorian, yes. I'm like, this is not Victorian Charm. Other languages. They're quite lovely and much prettier sounding than English, but I can't read them, so. But this is where I'm at. I will probably pull in another color starting up here, moving on down, just start filling in. That part is right here. That's what's filled in. And some of this color up in here, starting to go down into here. So I'll just add another color that's similar and start going in. Maybe jump over here if I need to. I don't know. I don't really want to count that far. Don't know. We'll see what I do. But that's it for the moment. And I'll see you in a sec after about 30 minutes of work or so. And here we are. I really just got one single strand of floss in. Started up here, went in here a little bit. Came down in here, filled that in. That's not much, but I did put in the 25 minutes. It's just really hard going back and forth between the pattern. The pattern is, it's a smaller pattern, it's dimensions. It's one of the things I do like about PDFs, digitals, is that you can zoom in on the part that you're working on and see things a little bit better and kind of look over, glance, count real quick, stuff like that. And then, yeah, it's just a tad bit easier. But that's it for now, and I should be getting to work on Christmas sentiment. And I did 2 hours yesterday, 3 hours the day before, so I have 3 hours left to meet the 8-hour Wipgo goal on that one. I could possibly accomplish that tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned for that. February Wipgo goal number 1. Space number 5. Now complete. Put in 3 hours today. That gives me 8 hours total. Put in a little more than 3 hours today, which gives me over 8 hours. Just to be on the safe side, we'll say. I put in... see, what did I do? I put in 543 stitches today. Now, I do have to admit, the first 200 were full stitches. The other, 350 or something, those were half stitches. That's all of this right here. Just 10 stitch. But, you know, chop that in half. Adds, you know, another 170-ish or something like that. Gives you 370 for 3 hours worth of work. That's pretty close to my average, what I put in when I stitch, so I'm very happy with it. I love the way this is coming out so far. I really feel it's just going to be gorgeous when it's done. The half stitches are always nice because you just get through them so quickly. But the 8 hours are up, and I really, really need to put this away and get to work on the Ravenclaw Crest, because that is not just so many hours. That is requiring a finish. And I don't know how long it is going to take me. It is going to take me more than 8 hours. And starting tomorrow, I want to get back to adding Lady of the Flag in. And, you know, trying to get some time in with her every day, as well as the Ravenclaw Crest. So the 25/7 spin is going away for probably at least a week, I'd say. That would be my guess. but we will see. We will see what happens with it. And yeah, it's always nice, you know, just a few days in and I've already completed one of the goals. If I do this next year, I might have to jump up the amount of time. I really only wanted to put 8 hours in because I knew I was going to be focusing on Lady of the Flag for probably the first half of the year, which is about where I stand with it right now. It's about 1/4 done, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, goal 1 complete, and I will see you in a sec. It is now Saturday. I did work on this for about an hour last night, and I don't remember if I showed you previously where I was at. Kinda don't think I did. Too late now. If I hadn't, I had like that done. So I came in and started filling it. This looks small because this is not the full outside. This is the outside of this area, but then you have darker going out here. And yeah, I'm just going to keep going with this color. It goes around up here and then around here, and yeah, and then you can't really tell, but I've got some little stitches in there that are very light color, and they go to right there. So I think that's the color I'm going to work on next. But yeah, this is my next Wipgo goal, and the plan is to finish it, and I'm going to work on it a bit today, and tonight I am actually going to pull back out Lady of the Flag, which I'm so looking forward to, especially because I'm getting back into her dress and I'm not working on the fiddly bits on the bottom. So I'm excited about that. So I'll see you in a sec. It is now Monday evening. I believe I last talked to you on Saturday. I had every intention of working on Lady of the Flag. It did not happen. I've been dealing with some sort of inflammation in my arm, and I had to kind of take it easy, and the repetitive motion of stitching definitely hasn't been good for it. I have worked on this a little bit in like 15-20 minute stints, nothing too awful long, for the simple fact of I couldn't go completely without any sort of crafting. That's just ridiculous. My arm is still not great, so I don't know how much work I'm going to be getting done over the next few days. If I don't feel it getting better, I'll probably just go back to cross-stitching. My arm has been dealing with the inflammation for months now, at least 6 months. And previously, I worked, it was a labor job, so I was always using my arm, so there was no resting it whatsoever. And I was hoping when I quit that job that the inflammation would go away, but so far it hasn't. And I've been hoping that maybe it's just because I'm still overusing it too much, doing this all the time. But I don't know. Guess we'll see over the next few days. So I did want to show you that prior to my decision to rest my arm, I think I'd been over to here somewhere. There was some sort of mess up in here a little bit, so I'm going to have to fudge a little bit the stripes here, which really will not make much of a difference. A little bit of fudging randomly when I come across wherever I got something wrong. One of these shouldn't have been like doubled over on itself. You know, there shouldn't have been. One of these should have been over one. And is that correct? Maybe it should have been over one. One of these should have been, no. One of these should have been over one, yeah. Because I made sure this was correct. And all of this that I know of was correct. Came across, down. It's coming along. Working on it will be fairly easy because right now it'll be a lot of fill-in. Won't have to count as much. We'll be able to make decisions where to put stitches based on just based on where other stitches are at. I did notice something really interesting. Here recently in my life, I've started actually, when I start projects, making sure I have the crosses going where the top leg it goes from the left to the right. I was looking at this and suddenly realized this project was started so long ago. I was going left to right, but I was going left top to right bottom instead of left bottom to right top. So, knowing that now, I've got quite a bit of fuzz right there, apparently. Still quite a bit there. Anywho, yeah. They're gonna be just backwards from each other. If you take a look, though, you'll see randomly I've done it wrong in certain spots anyways. I think I discovered a spot somewhere where it literally there's like a whole row where I'd done it what is now considered my right way, but done it the wrong way in comparison to everything else on here, so go me. I'm talented. Anyways, I think I'm going to end this one here because I've got somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes of footage for you, and probably the next one will be started in a day or two, so you'll get one in probably about a week, which is normal. I won't be stitching every day, which is not normal. But yeah, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you hopefully in about a week. Bye.